And tune in. Shouts out to your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. Shouts out to the Paintful Truth, man. You guys know I'm always talking about the Paintful Truth. Tonight's topic is about Mr. MoneyBagg and Ari herself. People, you guys always know who it is. Your boy Bobby from Mentor Me, talking about, of course, investing in real life, real discussions. I'm a real person. We got to be real about this whole thing, right? I mean, I see it trending on social media. Everybody wants to know about it. What's going on with this whole 28 acres that, of course, Ari bought for, of course, Mr. MoneyBagg himself. I know you guys been wanting to hear my opinion. I'm getting a lot of DMs about that, so I decided, of course, start really discussing this whole situation. People, we got to be real about life. Make sure you guys follow me on, of course, Spotify, The Paintful Truth, of course, hosted by your boy Bobby from MentourMe.com. We're going to have a great discussion today. Let me let a couple people get live, and we're going to really get this show popping, man. People, welcome to my podcast. I'm missing my banner right now. Don't worry. This is my first live podcast. Again, I'm getting my lighting right. I'm still adjusting to what it needs to be, but at the end of the day, we're going to get it where it needs to be. As you guys know, I'm a life coach, investor, entrepreneur, stock trader, individual, teaching people how to create wealth from 6 figures to 7 figures. It's a blessing to be able to be in this world and just be given knowledge, man. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Imagine, let's really think about this. Nowadays, when you look at social media, the Paintful Truth, that's my podcast. And you got to really think about it. The Paintful Truth is this, right? We're in a world where people are always buying vehicles as a gift, okay? And some of us may say, well, you know what? He's wrong for buying a vehicle. He's wrong for buying an expensive car for his girlfriend. At the end of the day, we got to look at a lot of different aspects. First and foremost, I want to talk about, we're talking about an artist that makes $50,000 to $100,000 probably a show. So he's making more money than a lot of people that's probably watching this video, this live right now. Let's really think about it, okay? I want to hear your comments. Feel free to comment. Again, I really want you guys to really, open up your mindset when you're seeing bad investments, good investments, and also understanding why people are making certain decisions. We got to first understand rappers are not always investors. And that's where a lot of us go wrong. Once a rapper has a lot of money, has some material things on, some jewelry, mentally, we go into this mindset where he has to make great investment decisions. Where has that become a fact? Really think about that for a moment. You got these rappers, they're rapping, they're entertaining you, you're listening to their music. You're listening to their music, you're loving their music. It has to stop right there unless they're around certain types of people that are investing. They're around certain types of people that understand how money truly works. As you can see, it's not just Mr. MoneyBagg himself. A lot of people, when, of course, their girls get birthday gifts, the first thing they do is buy a car, buy a chain, buy jewelry, buy material things, buy a bag. So it's not like it's not common for what's happening in the urban community. But what I want you guys to see really tonight is the difference of a mindset, the difference of mindsets of individuals. Because, again, I don't know how much they're worth. Online is saying that MoneyBagg is worth maybe about $4 million, which I doubt he's worth $4 million. I think he's worth way more. And, of course, Ari herself, they're saying that she's worth about $10 million. Now, again, we got to understand your social factors, who you hang with, makes a big difference. As you can see, from the time he met this individual, every time he spends money, he's doing what? Buying material things, buying cars. Again, in his mindset, that's all he probably understands, and it's okay. But there has to be a point where your mind has to adjust and make better decisions with your hard-working dollars. Now, I want to make sure we say this clear. This is his money. He could do whatever the hell he want to do. It's his money. He can spend it how he wants. But I want you guys to see the difference of mindsets, okay? What does his girl buy him? Acres of land. Now, we got to first understand for an undisclosed amount. So we don't know if it's residential, if it's commercial. We don't know how much she spent. We don't even know if it's developing land, if it's going to be some land she can develop on. We don't even know if she bought the swamps. All we know is she bought 28 acres. For how much, who knows? We don't know what's the use, if it's commercial or residential. All we know is she bought some land. Here's how I look at it, right? At the end of the day, I got to respect her for a lot of different reasons. Because you could have spent that money a lot of other ways. You could have bought some more material shit that's not going to get you anywhere. But you decided to invest into what we call generational wealth. Buy an asset, buy something that's going to appreciate in value if she bought it right. Because I want to clarify that, because a lot of us think naturally the minute you buy land, it's the best thing in the world. I've sat down with numerous amounts of individuals who have improperly bought land that is useless. okay? Especially in cities of Detroit at certain points. And I'm telling you, a lot of people don't take time to get educated on what makes land worth investing into. So a lot of us, we're getting hyped because we're seeing social media. Oh my gosh, she bought land. We don't know if the land is even valuable. We don't know what she paid for the land. We don't know, is there a population growth in that particular area? All we know is she bought land. She bought an asset. But again, I'd rather her buy an asset for the individual that appreciates in value than buy a depreciating asset like a lot of these artists do. We got to understand, where does it come from? Where does that source from? Let me go buy a fucking car. Let me go buy a car and think that's the best thing to buy. People, the minute you drive off a lot, the car is devalued at least 20 to 30%. The minute you drive off the lot. Now, let's understand. I've seen some videos he posted or she posted, whatever the case may be, running around social media, and I get it. He bought her a Rolls Royce, probably $500,000, maybe even more. He bought her a Lamborghini truck, maybe, of course, another $500,000. See, we're so used to this mindset of learning that it makes sense to buy material things. We forget to take time to buy things that's worth actually investing into. See, here's how I look at debt, okay? And I always educate all my students. Shout out to everybody that's watching my live. Shout out to everybody that's following the movement. Make sure you guys follow me on Spotify. Click the like button if you're on YouTube right now. Subscribe to my YouTube. I want you guys to really take time to understand. It's just different mindsets. You got an individual that probably grew up from the streets as he's saying his music. So the social of friends that he probably have around him is not telling him there's better decision-making habits you could do with investing that money into material things all day, chain, jewelry, designer brands. You could actually put some of that money into maybe commercial real estate where you're getting passive income, maybe starting a business. Because here's what we got to really look at, okay? At the end of the day, those two individuals, I'm not even trying to be in a business like that, okay? I'm just having you guys see a different, the mindsets. We got to look at the reality of this situation. They're just boyfriend and girlfriend. Those two individuals, just in case some of you may not understand, they're just having sex. They're not married. She bought him 28 acres of land, which it's equivalent to 27 football fields. Now, again, what did he buy her? A whole bunch of material things that's going to depreciate in value. Now, some of you may say a lot of questions. You know, is it right for her to buy him land and they're not married? That's question one. But at the end of the day, it's her money. She can spend it how she wants. But we also got to look at the reality. Let's look at the reality of the situation. She bought an asset that the individual could build on and actually create passive income. Again, I don't know if it's residential or commercial. Let's say it is residential. He could build blocks. He could build retail plazas on that asset. Because a lot of us got to realize what's more valuable. Something that could put money in your pocket, or a depreciating asset like a car that ain't doing shit for you, just having you get likes and jealousy. Let's really think about that for a moment, because that's all that's happening. People, we got to understand, the only people that's winning when you're buying cars is the dealerships. That's the only people that's winning. You're going in debt. You're buying these cars cash, and you're going in debt, leveraging them. These dealerships are winning constantly. But you got to ask yourself a question. At a certain point, you and your family got to start winning. And how do you start winning? You start buying some land. Shouts out to Ari for actually doing that. I got to give the young lady a lot of respect for investing instead of actually spending money on wants. She invested into something that could accumulate a lot of wealth, generational wealth. And what that might do, you guys just never know. That might open his mind up and his visuals up, his peripheral to say, hold on, you know what? Next gift I buy her, I'm going to buy something that's actually an asset to her, maybe a business, maybe a commercial piece of property, maybe some homes. You just never know. Because at the end of the day, he's only doing what he understands. Now, I think buying cars all day is a horrible investment. I drove a lot of cars, a lot of BMWs. I drove Bentleys. I had to learn. At one point, I had a Bentley. I sold the Bentley and invested into a property because I had to really look at life. At that point in my life, I didn't have passive income. I didn't have money coming into my pocket, but I had a debt, a depreciating asset, which is taking money out of my pocket. People, I'm going to be honest with you. If some of you never drove a Bentley before, the oil change itself is about $1,500. Okay? Just so you guys understand how expensive it is to maintenance a Bentley. A lot of us think that having an expensive car is the hardest part. A lot of you don't understand. You could buy any car you see these artists, these rappers have, but can you maintenance it? Can you maintenance it? And also, does it really make sense at the moment of your life? See, we're so excited just to say we got a Lambo truck. We're so excited to say, oh, we got a new Mercedes. We're so excited to say, oh, we got a new Honda. Some people that's driving some of these expensive cars don't own anything, don't own no assets, have nothing bringing them in money. People, I want you guys to understand, okay? At the end of the day, when you're an entertainer, this is rare. Like Drake is an exception. You don't stay at the top forever. There's always somebody going to take your slot. Why do you think people like Nas and Jay-Z, they're constantly investing, building empires, generational wealth? And then you got the young rappers that may not know any better. Again, and they could always holler at me. I'd love to give them guidance. I love educating people on financial literacy, teaching them how to invest, teaching them how to really create wealth and investing in the world to really make it out here, man. Because again, you got to understand your circle of friends make a difference. The guy's probably around people that's popping bottles, buying cars all day, buying 10, 20 chains at that jewelry store, which I'm not going to say, that they're constantly marketing and making them even wealthier. And again, that's their life, that's their money. But at the end of the day, every car he's buying is losing value. Every car he's buying is going to consistently have him lose all the money he put into it. What's the point of buying cars if they're not putting money in your pocket until you have, I want to clarify this. When you have passive income, when you have money making you money without you having to work, that's passive income. When you don't have to lift a finger and you got 70 people paying you rent, you're winning. You could go buy the fancy stuff. Eventually, I told you guys, I'm buying a Lambo. I'm 35, Bobby got 38, 30. I'm getting my Lambo. But the way I'm going to buy my Lambo is what's essential. When it's time to buy my Huracan, I'm not playing. I'm going to make sure I'm making maybe $50,000 to $60,000 a month and have $4,000 of that passive income go buy my debt. And I want to say this too. I want to clarify this, right? At the end of the day, I'm proud to see artists and their girlfriends or whatever. I'm glad to see the culture is even buying assets. Because I heard also, I think Young Thug, his manager, ended up giving him 100 acres of land. People, do you understand how powerful that is? Instead of buying him some more jewelry, instead of buying him some more cars, instead of buying him some more fancy brand diamonds, some fancy brand names, which is not putting any money in his pocket. People, we're exploding. We're elevating now. We want passive income. A lot of you need to understand who you date makes a difference to your success. And there's always going to be different mindsets, as you can see with the money bags in the air. You got to really see what's happening. One individual believes in generational wealth. One individual believes in spending recklessly on things that's not putting money in his pocket. Now, some of you may not understand this live, right? Because why? I wonder if 3 to 4 years from now, will MoneyBagg still be in the same position? And I'm not trying to downplay the guy, but you guys got to really understand what I'm trying to say here. At the end of the day, it makes more sense to invest into assets that bring you money than to invest into liabilities that's taking money out of your pocket. Just really think about that for a moment. Now, a lot of you that's probably watching, we got to be honest, right? Some of you still are in positions not understanding the importance of owning a home, the importance of investing. You're still scared. You still have 90% of your dollars in a money center bank, probably making less than 1%. You're not invested into the stock market. So when a person is trying to educate you on creating wealth, and this is how you create wealth, you start investing into land. You start investing into real estate. You start investing into businesses, people. That's how you financially win. Cars will always be here. Every 3 months, they're making a new version of a certain car. And a lot of you seem to not understand that. And it's not, again, these rappers, I get it, it's not just rappers. It's also a lot of local individuals that have a lot of fancy material things. After you have the 5, the 7, the 10 change, and you got the Lambo trucks and all that material stuff, everything, nothing in life lasts forever. There's going to be a certain point in your life you're going to plateau or things start to go downhill. Now, all you bought was liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket. Let's really think about this too. Let's really think about the maintenance on these cars. Really think about it. A Lambo, engine probably 70,000. Okay. Rolls Royce, I don't even know how much the engine probably costs. I can imagine. Imagine, people. And you got to understand, these companies, these corporations, they're loving us. They're loving you because there's nobody other than us in our culture that's constantly spending money on material things that's not making them any money. Really think about that for a moment. We got people who are like religiously habitual material spenders. That's all they know. That's all they know how to do is spend on material things that don't put money in their pocket. But when you ask them a real question, where do you stay? Do you own a home? Do you own a business? Do you have any investments with all the chains you got on? All the cars you got on? A lot of people cannot answer. You know, it's so sad, but the reality is financial literacy is not taught. You have to be self-taught on what is financial literacy. Why should you invest? Because a lot of you may say, well, I would have never did what MoneyBagg would have done. You say that because you don't have his type of money. Because some of you would have probably did that even worse. Because until you're around people that's telling you about investing, about passive income, you're not just going to naturally invest unless you're around those types of people that tells you the importance of it. Because really think about this. You got $5, $10, $20 million. Some of you, the first thing you're going to go do is go buy a car. You're not going to invest into a franchise. You're not going to buy an asset that puts money in your pocket. You're not going to do what Ari did, which is buy land. Now, some of you are still on the fact while I was reading some comments on her post, I see that some people, oh my God, that's her boyfriend. Why did she buy him land? That's a whole different topic of discussion. Well, while we're on the painful truth, we might as well dive into a little bit of that, right? Like, at the end of the day, I never knew there was a cap on what you buy for your boyfriend and girlfriend. And we also got to realize too, these individuals make different types of level of income than some of us do. So if the guy's worth hypothetically 20 million, I don't know how much she's worth. Let's say she's worth $10 million. For her to spend $100,000 is nothing to a certain degree. Compared to some of us that's probably going to watch this video and see this live eventually, it's hard to fathom why would a person do that. It's just like when people used to tell me, I could never forget, oh, Mayweather spent too much money on material things. It's hard to say. The guy has investments. The guy also makes $200 million in 30 minutes, $50 million in 30 minutes, 45 minutes of fighting. We're not on his income level. He's on a different level. So if he spent $200,000 on a pair of shoes, he can do that. He has the money to do that. But for a lot of you that's watching this video, this is a lesson that should be learned for a lot of you. Be smart before you even make money. Because eventually he's going to catch on. He's going to catch on eventually. I see the young artists, I see the young rappers, and I love a lot of great young rappers. They're doing their thing. But I want them to understand. Start investing, okay? Start having businesses bring you money. Start having apartment complexes bringing you money. Residual income, passive income. At the end of the day, these cars, they come and go. You got the newest car right now. 3 months later, they change the lights. Your car is old. You got the newest chain right now. Somebody's going to outdo you on a chain. People buying material things is not the best investment. And a lot of us, I think what happens sometimes is that self-esteem starts to build with certain people. You got to realize this too. I'm not saying with him, but just in general. There's a lot of people, their self-esteem starts to build when they have money, when they buy material things like, oh my God, I got a chain on. Oh my God, I feel like I'm somebody else. I now feel like I have power because I have 3 chains on. Do you see some of the wealthiest people in the world, what they got on? Look at the Warren Buffetts. Look at even Drake, barely wears jewelry. Look at some of the most wealthiest people in the world, Jeff Bezos. $1 trillion company. People, Elon Musk, do you see them wearing chains? Maybe a watch? Do you think they care about that? And these people have probably 950% more money than him. But you see, they're around people that teaches them, that allow them to embrace the importance of investing. But for our culture, we're so impressed by a car. Oh my God, he bought her a Lambo. Oh, you know why? A lot of us, we can't afford it. That's the problem. So when some of us can't afford something, we're so impressed by it because we can't afford it. Because again, we got to realize a lot of this is based on emotion. If you ask 10 people, is a Lambo truck a great investment? Maybe 5 that's uneducated is going to say yes, because they don't believe they could ever drive one. They don't understand financial literacy. They're around people who don't believe in having real assets, which is real estate, businesses, commercial real estate, self-investment. People, at the end of the day, the goal of life is to have money make you money, not having money come out of your pocket to make other people money every single day. That doesn't make sense. Every time you buy a car, you go in debt for 5 years, 6 years. The only person that's winning is the dealership. But when you start to win is when you start to change your mindset. And I want us all to start understanding the importance of changing our mindsets. Change your mindset when you're looking at life before you even make money. For some of you that don't have no money, or you're just starting your entrepreneurship journey, you're just trying to figure out, okay, where are we going? You got to have a plan before you even make money. Because some of you may say you wouldn't have done what MoneyBagg has done, but trust me, you would have done it. And I always say this to people, right? Some people say, money don't change me. And I'm going to always answer just like this. You haven't made enough money. When you make a certain amount of money, money's going to change you for the better or for the worse. I'm telling you right now, it's going to change you. But the reality is you got to learn from your lessons and say, hold on. I got to learn from my experiences and say, hold on. I got to find a way to invest and make this amount of cash bring me money and put money in my pocket for the next 10, 20 years. Maybe you leave money behind for my kids. A lot of us are not taught that, and that's what I'm going to be talking about on A Painful Truth. Make sure you guys, as we're talking on this live, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you get on Spotify. It's called The Painful Truth by Mentourme. You guys already know I'm always talking about the painful truth. It's going to be about financial literacy. It's going to be about life. It's going to be about real topics, real discussions, and definitely real people. And I'm going to start to have guests on my show. Shouts out to this platform called StreamYard. It's amazing. People, I want you guys to understand my goal is always to teach you financial literacy. My goal is to empower the mind and restructure how you look at life and how you spend your money. At the end of the day, I get it. Rap artists, you're around certain types of people that make you feel buying expensive cars, buying expensive jewelry makes sense. Now it seems like even on social media, it's like it's a competition who can spend the most money on jewelry. At the end of the day, jewelry is not putting money in your pocket. What's going to put money in your pocket is assets. And always remember, people, if you're watching this live, you don't stay at the top forever. So while you're at the top, be smart with your money. Invest your money into assets, real estate, commercial real estate, entrepreneurship, self-development. And learn that at the end of the day, even the stock market, I love the stock market. I got a lot of money in the stock market, close to, I don't know, maybe 600,000-700,000 in the stock market. I got a lot of money in the stock market. But I've realized that long-term growth is created in the stock market. And for a lot of you, you need to start to understand that. So shouts out to, of course, Ari investing into land. And I hope she brings a generation of followers to understand what she did made sense. Now, I get it. Shouts out to MoneyBagg. I love your music. Waukesha, I'm telling you, I love his music. But at the end of the day, spend wisely. I can't tell a man how to spend his money, but at the end of the day, I want him to understand he's a great guy. But at the end of the day, you work hard for your money. Spend it on things that's going to always continuously make you money, passive income, residual income. This is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. Follow me on The Painful Truth on Spotify. Make sure you guys, of course, like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to all the artists out here doing their thing, making their bags, as they call it, making money, making revenue, whatever term we want to use. But make sure you guys understand, investment is what separates you from the next individual. If you want to win in life, it's the only thing that separates a successful person from an unsuccessful person is education and financial literacy. Mentourme.com. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everybody that's on this podcast. Shout out to everybody that's following me on all my platforms for the last 5-6 years. Shout out to everybody that DMs me every single day, book me for shows, book me for webinars. I love you all. Shout out to, of course, all the artists in MoneyBagg. I see you. And, of course, Ari. Congrats on, of course, all the land guys. Make sure you guys understand. Follow me on all platforms. Mentourme.com.